of gender. However, we have a 1-year-old daughter, and she couldn't be with us tonight because, at their age, they have a lot of things to deal with. So she decided that the father and the mother will represent them here tonight. Therefore, they are not with here. Initially, I just wanted to start with an apology. As I observed the program, nobody apologized for us starting so late. And personally, as a journalist, as a media practitioner, I have covered so many events. And there is always one thing that turns me off, is when people start late. And I think I need to say my apologies and to say that in future, we have to really work on this aspect. I have written a 50-page dossier that I'm going to speak to you tonight. But because of time, I will not address the entire 50 pages. I will just pick some few of the words that I was going to say if ever I had the whole moment. Most days in our lives come and go. They are much like all others and stand out. But there are few days that are unlike all the others. They do stand out because they give us an opportunity to stand up, be set apart from the rest of the crowd, and seize the moment, or to remain sitting in the rest of the crowd and let it pass. This moment, for better or worse, define us. This is a quotation from John Maxwell. He writes well on leadership. Today, I believe, is a defining moment. At a time when organizations or non-voluntary organizations are not attractive to most people, it becomes a defining moment to those who are willing to take up the leadership. It becomes a defining moment for those who wish they can push a little bit of more miles, giving more of their time in serving humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, JCI seeks to create an army of selfless young people who will be a solution to their communities. And the question is, are we the solution, or at least having the intentions to become one? This is a question that I'm asking you today. Having dedicated my life to this organization, I have seen many of our members who dedicate their otherwise meager and limited resources to advancing the ideals of this organization. I would like to challenge those of you who choose to complain and murmur when they are supposed to contribute selflessly to this organization. I will quote to you a Chinese proverb that says, when you see a good man, think of emulating him. And whenever you see a bad man, examine your heart. Fellow JCI members, let us strive to learn from the commitment of those who tirelessly ensured that this organization remain alive today. And I would like to pay tribute to all of you past presidents and the general membership of yesteryears who kept the fire burning. May you give them a round of applause. Like Napoleon Bonaparte once said to his army, you have invariably been models of courage and fidelity. And I'm saying models of courage because it's not everybody who is willing to travel to either Zimbabwe, Sweden, all the countries that I will tell you most of our old members and the past president have traveled without getting a sponsorship from a company or government. But I can tell you, most of these gentlemen have traveled the world and cities and everywhere from their pockets. May you give them yet another round of applause. When we don't perceive things the same sometimes, as members, either old or new alike, I would like to say something to you. Don't persecute each other, because every little thing that we do is geared towards enhancing this organization. And remember one thing, there's always one phrase that I believe and I like, that whenever two people think the same, one of them is not thinking. They just decide to cue from others. So whenever we have differing opinions, know that that's the only moment that we are adding value to each other's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, having been part of this organization, I can confidently claim that we must not allow it to die. Or else if we allow it to die, we are worthy of the ultimate punishment. Our values and ideals that were coined decades ago, before some of us were even born, remains relevant today. We in JCI believe that faith in God gives us meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of men transcends the sovereignty of nations. That's why today you see that we have delegates from Zimbabwe, delegates from South Africa. And during the day, I also saw one of the members, though based in South Africa, he told me he's from Cameroon. This is what we talk about when we say the brotherhood of men transcends the sovereignty of nations. We were with this colleague of ours from Cameroon and fellow member of JCI at the rehabilitation center. And he stood and motivated the young people there as a manifestation that indeed the brotherhood of men transcends or goes beyond our borders. As an organization, we also believe that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise. And somebody was accusing me that you are just a capitalist organization which claims to issues of free enterprise. But you'll obviously know that the world today is about free enterprise, free markets, and this is what is envisaged, or this is what this organization believes in. We also believe that Earth's greatest treasure lies in us as human beings. And this is a challenge to us as young people. And that service to humanity is the best work of life. These are the ideals I would like to see permeating our families, our communities, our nation, and even our globe. And as I talk about our nation, I would like also to address young people of our country and challenge you that we cannot afford to lose hope despite the barrage of hopelessness projected in various forums. Usually when you look at forums like political forums or political statements, media headlines, I'm also in the media, they always talk about unemployment, recession, global warming, poverty, collapsing youth projects, crime rates, unhappy nation. They say we are an unhappy nation. I saw it in the headlines. I'm challenging you today as young people to listen to the slim and overpowered voices that says a Botswana has been nominated top outstanding young person of the world. To listen to the voices that says the first Botswana to get a silver medal at the Olympics. To listen to the voice that say the under-17 national soccer team beat Rwanda to qualify to the next leg. These are the voices that we seldom listen or appreciate. But these are the voices that can tell us a lot and that can motivate us a lot. We cannot afford to meditate on the failures that are brought about by the fact that we are resigned into oblivion ourselves. Every day we are told that ours is tomorrow. I would like all the young people present today to join me as we proclaim that the time for action is now. We are the greatest treasures and we cannot afford to wait for tomorrow. I remember one wise person once said that the tomorrow you were told about yesterday is today. So if you are waiting to lead tomorrow, I tell you, you are too late. As a youth leader, I interact a lot with the other young people. And I must say, sometimes I sense a feeling of disgruntlement among the young people. There seems to be no confidence on the policies on the politics. You could have seen it maybe in the North Africa or the Maghreb region, where young people were demanding change in terms of government. They really wanted to change their government. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow JCI members, this disgruntlement is merely a symbol that as a young generation, we are just sitting, waiting for tomorrow. There seems we are waiting on the sidelines, doing nothing, hoping that we will be leaders tomorrow or hoping that the leaders of today will hand over soon. And all of you can tell me they don't hand over soon. The challenges that face the world cannot be addressed at the office of the president or government enclave or at the United Nations. The challenges of our age demand a resolve from individuals like you. The challenges of our time demand us to take a step. We need to position ourselves to fight issues of poverty, unemployment, and many other ills of our nation that are known to you. And before you accuse me of being a leader who is in denial, I would like to acknowledge that indeed our country is faced with issues of unemployment, HIV/AIDS, either the land crisis or any other challenge that may be known to you. But for me, I believe these are just hurdles. We are stronger and smarter. And I believe we can afford to do them. When Senator Joe was training sometimes on Friday, yesterday, because I didn't go to work, I thought Friday was a long time ago. When he was training, he said, there is no monument that was erected for a critic. And to me, that was, wow. I never thought of this. I've never seen a monument that said this guy was a good critic. He always criticized people. When a policy of government comes, he punches holes left, right, center. When anything comes his way, no, I have never seen that. But I've always seen the monument of people who keep on trying. When everything seems to be so difficult, they keep on trying. They keep on working hard until people realize that here lies a great man. There was a great enthusiasm among the people to come and see Botswana. And I can tell you the stakes are high out there. People want to come and see Botswana. And the question is, are we ready to showcase what we can provide to the world? Are we ready to welcome the world? We cannot afford to disappoint the world because I'm confident we are going to deliver a first-class conference that will leave a lasting memory to all the delegates. We would like to thank all our partners and potential partners for the enthusiasm they are showing towards this conference, especially the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture through the Botswana National Youth Council. Let this be a movement and a revival of our commitment to the ideals of this organization. Before I conclude, I would like to also thank Mr. National President, for having served under you, sir. It was a learning curve. It was a great experience. Like I said, the Chinese says, if you see a great man, emulate him. But if you don't see a great man, examine and search your heart. Therefore, I have learned a lot of your meekness. They normally say, you are meek but not weak. And I would like to say I have learned a lot from you. And I hope and believe that you will continue to be of great assistance to both the National Board and JCI Botswana. And to all the JCI members that I had the privilege to supervise you as the Executive Vice President, it was a great experience. And I will always remind you of that Chinese proverb. It was a great experience. Finally, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say to the new board that let us run this race together, knowing that ours is to create a better path for those coming after us, is to defend and secure the ideals and values that we believe are worthy to be passed from one generation to another. Do not shy away from confronting me as your leader or as your leaders, in case you believe we are leading the sheep astray. I am your servant, and you are aware that if you don't take care of your servant, your wealth and welfare is at stake. Servants by nature have a huge responsibility of stewardship. And if you, the masters, are not hands-on, then you'll never find your kettle when you go to the kettle post. Therefore, I challenge you as members that let us take the responsibility to bring to task the leadership, to challenge the leadership. We are actually servants. We are not masters. You, the membership, are the masters of this organization. Ladies and gentlemen, with those few and long remarks in the same sentence, I would like to thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Yesterday afternoon, we had a very important competition, the public speaking competition, in which several of our delegates participated in. From that, the winner for that competition will be announced today, obviously, and will go to represent Botswana at the very conference Garechaba spoke about just a while ago. To help me give this award, I'd like to welcome the public speaking judge chairperson, Ms. Monica Ditsabato. As well as her compatriot, Re Moshe Selok, if you would come to the stage, sir. There's a deliberate... Mr. Soundman, could you lower the music a little bit? There's a deliberate reason I chose to do this at the end, because the winner of this competition has been before you tonight. I won't say what she did or did not do.